Yo, welcome to another video. And today, as promised, I told you that we'll go through different data types in JavaScript. And in the previous video, we used only numbers. For example, this pi, we declared a constant, which we, as you can remember, that constant means that this value cannot be reassigned again. So if you try to do something like let's say pi, then you reassign again, let's say you say 54, this is not acceptable. We saw that you can use the let keyword and the var keyword over here. So the choice is up to you. If you want a value that will not change across the program, you will use the want something that will change, use var or let. Now we are going to look at the different data types that are available in JavaScript. Although we said that JavaScript is a dynamic language whereby we don't have to declare static data types for them, but it is good to know those different data types. Let's say, for example, I want to store a name. We create a variable that will store a name in a variable, yes, and we know that the name of a person it's like a text. Now, for example, let me come here, and then we'll use I will use the let keyword, then the name of the variable, which is name. Name is equals to, then you use the quotation marks on your keyboard. These are the two. You can either use the double quotes or the single quotes. And for me, you either can do, but I'm used in using this the double quotes. Now, as we have said that I have used the let keyword and then followed by the name of the variable, which is the name. You can use it. Let's say you can use something like, you can say your name. Let's say Edward. It's up to you. But I like my variables being descriptive of what they're doing. Now let is the keyword that it's used to tell JavaScript this is a variable that we are declaring. Now the name is the name of the variable. Now I will say something like my name is Edward. Now this is how this data type is called the string data type. When I hover around over this variable, you'll see that the name has been assigned the string data type. String data type are just simple. These are text. Anything wrapped in a double or single quotation marks, we refer them as string. Okay, there is the numbers. You can say let num1 equals to 12. As you can see here, JavaScript has already dynamically assigned the appropriate data type, which is 12. You have seen this is the number and this is a string. Now there is a second, let's say you have to store decimal points. Let's say 12.6. Sorry, 12.6 or 0.7 or 0.6. Doesn't matter. Now this is also a number. But in other languages, this is what are called floating points. In other languages, you'll find a data type called float. But in JavaScript, all decimal point, the numbers that have decimal points, and those which do not have decimal places or whole numbers, are referred as numbers or integers, whatever you call them. There is a third data type that is called Boolean. For example, I can write the following expressions. For example, I can declare a variable. Let's say I say num2. Num2 is equals to, let's say 4. I want to compare these values. If I want, so the Boolean, in short, the Boolean data type returns two possible values. True or false. Something must be true or false. Let me illustrate for you some example. For example, the two data types, I want to know which one is greater than the other. I will say num1, then if it is greater than num2. Now by default this will return in an if, which I won't forgive me for that. We'll handle that in if statements when we will write programs that will look for conditions. Now, but for now, just know the Boolean data types holds two value, true or false. For example, I can say let. For example, it's an application you're making and you want to separate different roles, admins and normal users. I can say let is admin. And again, the name of the variable is up to you, and anything can do, but following the rules. This name should not be a keyword. It should not contain spaces. If spaces are possible, should use the underscore. Should not start with special characters. Should start with alphabets, and those rules. But normally I like to name my variable in a way that even a person who doesn't know what the program is doing will understand. For example, it's an application you want to give different roles. For example, the admin and the normal users. Now here I will say let is admin, which the name you can give it as you like. I will say is admin is equals to true. When I hover around here, you'll see that is the Boolean data type. So as I told you, it holds two values, true or false. Yes, like that. Those are values. We have seen that there is the string, there is the number, and there is the Boolean. There is some complicated data types, for example objects, which we'll come to see in later videos, and there is two data types that are found in JavaScript. One is that undefined, and the other one is the null. For those, I will make a research and I come with a comprehensive guide about those, and I will do a video on that. And those are the data types that I wanted you to see. Now in the next videos we will be looking at we will look about how to do mathematical operations using JavaScript, square root, adding, multiplying, and those kind of stuff, the math. Then we'll go progressing step by step, making baby steps, and then we together will be fine. We'll have a nice by the end of this playlist, a person will be able to be confident that he or she can make JavaScript programs with confidence. And as I told you, at the end of the playlist we'll write at least a small project together that will help us see JavaScript in action. Yes, that was all in this video, and let me see you in the next video. Yes.